Bo, you say, what's the last movie you saw, Bo?
Like I said, I watched Uncharted Homewise. Last movie I saw in the theater was Flash. So
Okay, with us, yeah. Okay. Um, we went to see Indiana Jones and the
Yes.
Dial of Destiny.
Mhm.
Jess and I did, and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. It's really a fun movie. It's a good movie. The hardest part for me is, while we talk, I'm going to try to find a picture of Dad.
yeah,
Harrison Ford. It was a few years ago that somebody on Facebook saw a picture of my dad and went, "Your dad is Harrison Ford?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I really looked at the picture of Dad. I'm like, you know what? Dad and Harrison really do
yeah.
look a lot alike in their later years.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah. Okay. So this picture of me is, if you're watching on Facebook, I'm trying to.
Or YouTube.
Yeah. We're not. I'm messing around, grabbing the picture off of Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was a few years ago. This was about 20, 30 pounds. No, this was about 30 pounds ago for me. So just ignore that. And no beard. Let me share my screen here. This is Dad. Sorry for our audio listeners. There's my dad.
Nice.
Yeah. Dad looks like Harrison Ford. And so the hardest part for me, and I think Dad in this picture is about the age Harrison is in this latest Indiana Jones. So it's really, that really was nagging at me the whole time.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to, at times when he would give a certain glance or a look, he looked just like my dad.
Yeah.
And so that was really kind of hard to do. But overall, fantastic movie. About the first, and we're not going to get into any spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. We're going to save you from that. But the first 30 to 40 minutes, I mean, it's in the trailers, you get to see a de-aged Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
They did a pretty decent job, in my opinion, of it, but there were definitely, you can definitely tell it was CGI de-aging, especially with his mouth. His mouth didn't really match.
Mhm.
It didn't look quite right.
Yeah.
A couple of times in there. And then his voice was the older Harrison Ford voice in a younger body. So that kind of stuck out, but they did a pretty good job with that. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I thought, they were just going to be using, the DH stuff as maybe like flashback kind of things. It's like, I didn't realize that pretty much the first half of the movie was this going back to younger Indiana Jones, an event in his life. So
I'm sure this is probably for the Disney Lucasfilm to say they have their own version of a younger Indy. I'm sure that might be why, because,
could be.
because it's
Could be.
Disney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed the movie. It was good. I was not blown away, like, wow, it just knocked my socks off, but I did enjoy the movie, and it was good.
It seems like a lot of people enjoyed it, but the audiences aren't going to it.
Yeah.
The box office has been less than stellar.
Yeah.
That's funny. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I got to thinking about it, and it's this and probably what Flash has been suffering from. These were big, highly touted movies that were being made pre-pandemic that got a lot of the hype was going on, and then they got stopped when pandemic. So therefore, the initial hype has been, these movies probably should have been out 2 years sooner than they came out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's one of the things that hurting it. I don't really think it's the quality of movie or the audience. I think it's just the hype has been so long, and we live in that world now where we see the movie from concept to release now easily. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, and it seemed like the opposite happened with Top Gun Maverick. Because that movie was shelved for 2 years, but it came out and just destroyed the box office.
Yeah.
And I guess it hit right at the time where everybody was willing to come back to the theater. And that movie is so stinking good.
I still need to watch it.
Oh, you haven't watched it
I
yet?
still hadn't watched it yet. No.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, I gotta tell you though, you did miss out not seeing it in an IMAX
Dude.
setting.
That's what
Oh,
everyone
wow.
told me.
Yeah.
See, our mutual friend, of course, much older friend for you, Dwayne, had made a comment, that he was just getting to see it and everything else and how wonderful it was. And I told him, I'm like, that's the reason I want an IMAX in my house is just for that movie.
Yeah.
Because having that big screen and that IMAX sound system when they're flying,
I'm sure. Yeah. The scale makes it fun. Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Maverick is a top-notch movie for me.
Well, maybe this is the same thing. Like with it, there's only been one Top Gun movie, and this is the sequel. You know.
And that could be another.
Yeah.
Could be another factor in that too, as well. Yeah, it's it's like I said, it's the sequel to a movie that
Didn't have one.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 1985. So yeah, as opposed to having sequel after sequel after sequel.
Yeah, this being
Yeah.
number 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I will say, just for Maverick, I mean, I've not been a Tom Cruise fan hardly ever at all throughout my life. I've enjoyed a few of his movies here and there, Top Gun and Rain Man and Days of Thunder and all. Back in
Come
the
on,
day.
Cocktail. You know you like Cocktail.
I love Cocktail.
I've never seen Cocktail.
Oh, you need to watch it as much as for just the great '80s cheese. You need to
Oh, my
watch
goodness.
Cocktail.
I had the soundtrack.
Oh,
Never
man,
watched the
sound-
movie.
Oh yeah, you got to watch Cocktail, man.
Okay, I have to go. We'll definitely watch it. But I was, like I said, not much of a Tom Cruise fan. Maverick really changed my perspective on him, and to the point where I am looking stupidly forward to this new Mission Impossible coming out here very soon. So I really want to see that. The trailer's got me happy.
Yeah, we saw a trailer. We've seen that trailer a couple of times being at the movies, and they showed one before Indiana Jones as well as the next Expendables movie that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm sitting here thinking, okay, here's when you're looking at like 80s movie stars, you got
Yep.
Tom Cruise and Sylvester Stallone's and the Expendables, and then now we're going into the Indiana Jones movie. So it was kind of I started thinking about that. It's like all the 80s stars having these movies coming out now,
Right.
But it was the audience was definitely, it was a lot of gray hair.
Yeah.
It was a Gen X fest in that one, but and maybe some of the younger boomers in there.
I could see that too, yeah.
Several elderly people in
Yeah.
there, and they were having just as much fun watching it. But then you saw people our age and a little bit older. There were a few young people in there, not many.
Yeah.
Definitely not many. This was definitely a film for the older crowd.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're not going to spoil it. It was, I thought, well done in terms of the story. The story was fun. It built on what Indiana Jones does. He goes hunting for artifacts and
Yeah.
and watching how they work.
Like I said, there's nothing too spoilery, but all the flashback stuff, is it like post? Where in the time frame does these flashbacks take place? Is it post Last Crusade or kind of in the
The
Raiders era?
the World War II is ending at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then it is post Last Crusade. Okay.
Yeah. There's mentions of Hitler
Mhm.
and everything, and trying to bring the dial. It's
Yeah.
it's Archimedes' dial.
Mhm.
They're trying to get it to bring it to Hitler to turn him into a god, essentially.
Yeah.
And things go from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we enjoyed it. Will we see it again? Sure. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind seeing it again. Like I said, just for the factor of Harrison looking like my dad in this, but
So it's
I
better
thought-
than Crystal Skull.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, Heads and
Yeah.
Shoulders is better than Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
So, and Hasbro, they're releasing Indiana Jones figures and
Yeah.
stuff. He just happened to be sitting on my desk
Yeah.
from his Raiders of the Lost Ark version. They're releasing a lot of figures. I may get the Sean Connery
Yeah.
You know, the Henry figure.
Henry. Yep.
But I'm not going to go all in. But I did grab all the Raiders figures that had, because you can
Yeah.
use them to build the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, nice.
And so I want a miniature Ark sitting there with all the figures for that first wave. And then I got the Club Obi-Wan, where he's in his white
Yeah,
suit
the white
jacket.
tux. Yeah.
Yeah. I grabbed that one because it was a Target exclusive, but that's as far as I'm going with the Indiana Jones figures outside of Henry. I'll grab
Yeah,
him,
I think
but-
that's what I'd like the Last Crusade, Henry and Indy. That would be my two to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they come out with Crystal Skull figures, I'm not going to do it.
Speaking with Crystal Skull, like I said, I have not seen it, but I read the synopsis and everything of it. And I like how they address where mud is no longer part of the series.
Mhm.
Right. Yes.
So that was a very interesting and probably historically historically accurate type thing and fitting to his character.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I would definitely say so. And probably what you've read versus what we saw in the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So good movie. Enjoyed it. Not gonna, like I said, not gonna spoil it.
Did John Williams do any more music for it outside? Did they reusing the theme? But did John Williams do the music?
I think he did. I
I
think he did. Don't quote me on that.
I got you. I know this is the first movie where neither Lucas or Spielberg were directing or anything. I know they were producers on it. I know Spielberg was a producer on it, but I don't think they had any input. This is the first one that they didn't have any input on the story or direction.
Yeah, James Mangold.
Mangled.
Yeah. He.
It's
Sorry.
Mongoloid.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Sorry. Yeah, he was the director, so yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't have any hand in the direction of it.
Yeah.
Very upset.
I think this definitely wraps up Harrison Ford's involvement as Indiana Jones.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not. I would not
Yeah.
see a way for him to keep
I mean,
continuing
He's
this,
80,
this
yeah.
franchise. Yeah.
So, yeah. If you haven't seen it, don't waste your time sitting around waiting for the end of the credits. There's no end credit
Mhm.
scene. There's no mid credit scene. When the
Yeah,
credits start rolling, you can get up and leave.
You can go now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're definitely catering to the older crowd. We know y'all been sitting here a while. Go pee.
How long is it? Is it at least 2 hours? 2.5?
2.5.
Okay.
2 hours and 22 minutes. is the
Close.
running time.
Now, does
add
it
in-
feel that length or does it move good where it doesn't feel that length?
It feels that length.
It does. Hmm.
Yeah. Easily feels that length.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Mm,
But yeah, good stuff. So,
good.
well, there's our take on Indiana Jones. Hope you enjoyed if you saw it, and if you're planning on seeing it, if you're going to wait till, I'm sure it's going to be on Disney Plus because
Yeah, that'll probably be my way I consume it.
yeah, it's worth the wait. It's worth it seeing in the theater if you want to go do that, but you can wait. But
Yeah.
it's good. It's worth seeing.
Yeah.
It's worth the ending.
I mean,
of
if you
Indiana.
love the Indiana Jones franchise, you love Harrison Ford, it's definitely worth your time to sit and watch.
Yeah, if you need a palate cleanser from the last one, yeah.